Haddonfield. I did my little research and I discovered that Haddonfield, like Haddon, it means heath. Goes into the word heathen. Heathen field. Field of heathens. Now we know when it comes to the understanding of the scriptures, biblically, the heathens are nations outside of the Israelites. And we know that what's coming is for the nations that's outside of the Israelites in regards to the ones that's going to destruct, as well as some that's of Israel, that being, the 2/3. So when you go into the term Haddonfield, you understand and you break it down, heathenfield, it makes much sense just when it comes to the aspect of Michael Myers coming and purging people out, killing people. Heathenfield. He acts as this dark messianic figure. I'm not saying that he's Christ-like. I'm saying he represents the dark aspect of a messianic figure, and it's almost in a certain justifiable way based off of Michael's reasoning, which is like, his reason is really just because. But the reason why I'm saying it's almost justified is because of what it meets, what it makes in regards to the understanding. Like if you got the term Haddonfield and it means, heathenfield, and then you understand that what's imminent is destruction for heathens in regards to the truth about the scriptures. And you understand that the people in power, these directors, these people in Hollywood, they know the truth. What are they really trying to tell you? That's what I mean about it. And his name is Michael. I'm not just jumping to conclusions. It's obvious that they're trying to paint a certain picture with this, just when it comes to what Christ really represents. Because Christ ain't coming to be on some lollipops type of stuff. He's not. The second coming is based in destruction for those who are meant for destruction, and for certain people to be saved. It just is what it is. This is why even in the movie, Michael spares some kids. I mean, he doesn't really kill kids like that, but he spares some people, right? I mean, I think he killed a few kids, but I'm just going into the point of how they compare these things to certain biblical elements. Even the apocalyptic tone, right? The apocalyptic tone, just speaking to the white horse element when you read Revelation 6:2, right? The white horse going into, some sort of messianic figure, some sort of Christ-like figure, just in regards to the person riding the horse, the white horse, and what it acts as. So Haddonfield, heathenfield,
Michael, Halloween is coming. You have to get ready. We are counting on you to bring us home this year.
I won't let you down.
I know you won't, baby.
I love you, Mama.
I love you too, Michael.
You see how in the Rob Zombie one he yells, but in the John Carpenter one he doesn't yell? Because it's almost like the antithesis to the John Carpenter films, where Michael gives you this Harpocrates vibe, the god of silence, Harpo. And in the beginning, right, he starts off with his kill as a young kid. He doesn't say anything, but he has blonde hair. Harpocrates is famously known for blonde hair. Even Harpo Marx, from the Marx Brothers, the one that had the blonde hair, his name was Harpo, for Harpocrates. And in the beginning of the John Carpenter film, you see young Michael Myers make his first kill where he kills his sister. And that's like the introductive element where you understand that this person, he acts as this death figure, this quiet death figure. But it's also an allusion to Harpocrates because of the blonde hair. So it was just something interesting. And then you notice it throughout the films as well as the sequels that this person doesn't talk. And that really speaks to, this indestructible element. where it's just like a force. It's a physical force, you know? As we can see here in the introduction, where you have this POV shot starting off. And mind you, it starts off where he's in front of the door and you can see the lamp. You can see the lamp in the house, and then you can see the light on the pumpkin. All of those things are purposeful, representing this enlightenment aspect. Believe it or not, but that's what it goes into. That's why he's Harpocrates. Just in regards to the illusion, what he represents initially as a kid, Harpocrates. This is his first kill, and it's cool. This is dope as far as like the POV shots. I heard that when you watch this movie, this is the only POV shot that's from Michael. The other POV shots are from Laurie. So I gotta really watch this movie more and more and more and more and more. This should really, get into that understanding, because I didn't know that. I was always of the mindset that those POV shots were all Michael. So I guess I just gotta do more watching. And I watched this movie damn near a dozen times. Well, yeah, man, this is like that introductory element of what Michael represents. This silent killer, but indestructible at the same time. And this was the psychoses. This was the initial element of his psychoses. Just doing it just because. But on the outset, maybe there's this element of Halloween where the essence of it, that being Sam Hain, really takes over him. Mr. Michael. See the POV shot where he's not even talking, he's not saying a word. And he doesn't say the word throughout. That boy hasn't spoken for 15 years, as Dr. Loomis says. And then he escapes from the sanitarium. Lets you know that, you have this meeting coming between the physical and the spiritual on a certain day. That's why he comes before that certain day. Just like a day, he comes a day before that certain day. In the ending of the Celtic year, going into Sam Hain, going into the occult, where death is pervasive, is powerful, is at its heights. Wickedness, anything that's of the left is at its heights on the day of Sam Hain. This is why we wear costumes on Halloween. So, you have this veil that's hard to really understand, based off of the fact that everyone is disguised. So everyone goes into their wickedness. It's easier. This is why Michael Myers comes on Halloween, because it's easy to be wicked. But at the same time, it's like Michael Myers don't care. He don't care. He don't care about blending in. He want to let you know that he's evil, and that's that. And it's almost, just like this. This is similar to Halloween 5, where Jamie, she invokes this spirit. She has the mask on. It's like that mask turns you into something else. This is why you wore the mask. That wickedness is transferable. So I just wanted to go to this scene just to give you the Harpocrates element of it, where he says nothing. He doesn't say a word. And then he comes out and you see how he looks. And they had to give him the blonde hair because they wanted to allude to Harpocrates. Him not speaking along with the blonde hair, letting you know that bases are covered in regards to what this alludes to. And then he turns into the god of death, Osiris, as he grows up. Michael, what have you done? See, this right here is the scene where 1 year later they put Michael in some sort of like sanitarium, some sort of asylum, some crazy house. And May 1st is an interesting date. We already know May 1st represents Beltane. That's what it represents, Beltane, for Baal or Baal or Baal, however you say his name. Baal, representing the god of sacrifice, Baal. The god that these people, they sacrifice their fetuses to, their babies to in this world, Baal. May 1st represents Beltane. YMW Melly, he was born May 1st, 1999. He literally was born to be wicked, believe it or not. And there's more to it than just me saying that. There's a lot that goes into that when it comes to the MK Ultra element, where certain celebrities are born on May 1st and represents their fate. And fate is a big thing throughout this movie, just when it comes to, that element of it. YMW Melly was born May 1st, 1999. Kobe Bryant's daughter was born on May 1st. And she died ritualistically. YMW Melly, they giving him the death sentence, the death penalty. May 1st represents Beltane, and there's always certain events that take place on May 1st. On May 1st was the start of the Drake and Kendrick, like it really escalated on May 1st, right? So May 1st, there's always going to be some sort of significance with that date.
You fooled them, haven't you, Mike?
See, Dr. Loomis understood what Michael was and is. That's why he said, you fooled them, haven't you, Michael? But you can't fool me. Like, he understands that Michael is more than a catatonic. He's not necessarily a catatonic. He's just crazy. He's bugged out. He's a quiet assassin. But the Harpocrates element is there. Just when it comes to him, not saying a word, he has the blonde hair, as well as him wearing white and him staring out the window where the sunshine is on him. The sun element, him wearing the white, all this stuff is purposeful. It's giving you this esoteric understanding when it comes to bases being covered in its illusions. The color white, we already know that's going to be something that's like a theme throughout the movies and the movies, because his mask is white, and we know that white represents, what it represents in regards to what we've covered, as well as, the silence, and then the sun shining on him as he's looking out the scrying mirror, the window. The window represents like this portal. It's like you staring at the other side, So it's so much to this just esoterically.
You ever done anything like this before?
Only minimum security.
I see. The driveway's a few hundred yards up on the right.
The only thing that ever bothers me is their gibberish. When they start raving on and on.
You haven't anything to worry about. He hasn't spoken a word in 15 years.
Are there any special instructions?
Just try to understand what we're dealing with here. Don't underestimate it,
Don't you think we could refer to it as him?
if you say so.
Your compassion's overwhelming, Doctor. What do I give him when we take him in front of the judge?
Thorazine,
He'll barely be able to sit up.
that's the idea.
You're serious about it, aren't you?
Yeah.
You mean you actually never want him to get out?
Never. Never. Never.
Then why are we taking him up to Hardin County if you're just gonna lock...
Because that is the law. Here we are.
Since when did they let them wander around?
Pull up to the main gate.
Shouldn't we put...
Go on, move. Stop here.
Shouldn't we go on up to the hospital and...
Wait.
You're all right?
Yes, I'm okay.
He's gone. He's gone from here. The evil is gone.
It's a very real, concrete thing that every person has to deal with. How does Samuel's view of fate differ from that of Costain? Laurie,
Ma'am?
answer the question.
Costain wrote that fate was somehow related only to religion, whereas Samuels felt that, well, fate was like a natural element, like earth, air, fire, and water.
That's right. Samuel's definitely personified fate. In Samuel's writing, fate is immovable, like a mountain. It stands where man passes away.
Fate never changes. You see, like, all this stuff indirectly is supposed to be met, because everything is supposed to make sense in regards to what's being conveyed, you know, on a certain subliminal level or a certain liminal level. They always want to let you know, okay, we have to have this aspect about faith, or this lesson about, fate, not faith, but fate, along with Michael Myers, you know, stalking her, just so it can give you this element of what's imminent, that being the fate of Laurie and Michael coming together. It was fate. Fate brought them together. Just like where she says in the beginning of the movie, as I alluded to before, or talked about before, she gets a key from her dad because her dad sells houses, and she has to put the key under the mat of the Myers house. That right there is what brought them together. You know, the fate aspect. And mind you, she's wearing all black. Or she's just, you know, you see this element of black. You don't really see anything else. Just giving you this understanding of the alchemical elements. This is why she answered the question where, you know, you have these differences between the fate in quote unquote religion and the fate in the natural elements of, you know, the alchemical, earth, air, fire, water, so on and so forth. You see, this is what brought them together, where she puts the key under the mat of the Myers house. Michael Myers is literally standing in front of the door. He sees Laurie, and that's where he starts his, you know, he starts to get on his mission to kill Laurie. But he does it in a way that's cunning and sly. You know, he doesn't want to just come after her initially, you know. So this is just going into that aspect of how fate was imminent between the two, Laurie and Michael Myers. And then it pretty much ends, and Halloween ends in 2022.
Wish I had you all alone, just the two of us. I would hold you. So close to me, just the two of us. So close to me.
You see, this pretty much was something I put together to encapsulate part 2 of Rob Zombie's Halloween. I didn't see part 1, so I guess I have to watch that just to really go into it, because I want to add that to the series as well. I guess I'll just turn this to a series and just, continue to cover the Halloween stuff, because there's a lot. So the Rob Zombie film, especially in part 2, you understand that the white horse is what the center of it all is. It's the white horse. The white horse is a psychopomp. And this is probably like the best movie that really tells you the understanding of the psychopomp, if you pay attention to the meaning of the white horse, because, one would ask themselves, like, what's the white horse got to do with anything? Even if it gives you the definition in the beginning about how it relates to the psychoses and whatnot, you still want to ask yourself, what does the white horse have to do with this? Just in regards to how it brings all three of these guys together, or all three of these entities, these characters together. You understand that the white horse automatically is associated with the mother, because, it goes back to the understanding of the goddess, or the quote unquote false goddess, going into Epona, the horse goddess. You understand that based off of the colorism, the conveyance, the signaling, so on and so forth. The signaling is her always, pretty much being alongside the horse, letting you know that she represents Epona. She represents the goddess figure that rides the horse, or Rhiannon. This is where Rihanna gets her name from. She gets her name from the horse goddess, believe it or not, the mother goddess of the horse, as well as the mother goddess of the moon, that being Luna. This is why she always wore white. She was associated with the moon, associated with Luna. And in the beginning, it kind of gives you that understanding. And Michael Myers, he's pretty much, the walking vessel for that. He puts the pale mask on. He's more of something that's based in invocation. This is why they call him the Shape, because he just represents a body. He represents a vessel. This is why he's untouchable, especially when he has the mask on. He's more in his element. And then Laurie, she's the innocent one, but she's one that's been broken down to the point where she's initiated. This is why it shows you what it shows you, in the ending, in regards to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. You see, this is like the nightclub, strip club scene, where it's that dream state again. Michael at his element, as well as Michael at his youth. And you always see the mother always has on all white. Like, it's so blatant when it comes to what this represents on a pagan level, on a pagan front, or esoteric front, especially if you consider the white element. And then it's funny because the son, or Michael, he wears all black, representing Osiris, the god of death. That's what he wears all black for. And the pale mask just represent that aspect of invocation, or vestment, a sacred vestment, representing something that completes him. Without the mask, he's incomplete. He's still someone who's powerful and can kill, but he's incomplete. This is why the mask makes him whole and makes him more powerful. So you see Laurie smiling in the asylum. She's in the asylum, and this is after, she was in her little situation where she was captured by Michael as well as the mother, and she would say, "Oh, I love you, mommy. I love you, mommy." This would let you know that horse acted as a psychopomp to bring them together, because even like I said, and as we covered, she talked about the white horse during the therapy session. Let you know that all three of these people were linked, particularly Michael and her. The mother is just a spiritual guide. The mother just acts as a guide alongside the psychopomp, bringing them together. And this is why you see her with the smirk on her face in the asylum, letting you know that she was initiated, as she's looking at her mother in the white horse, but in a dream state, Right, as you can see, she's looking at her mother alongside the white horse. They're in all white. They're in a white room. The white. They continue with this white mechanism because it's an allusion to the moon. It's an allusion to Luna. Remember, lunacy, lunatic, crazy. They're in the asylum. They're in the crazy house, right? All this stuff is not by happenstance. These things cover bases because they want to convey certain messages when it comes to certain themes. Rob Zombie, he's probably an occultist. He probably has an understanding. I mean, he goes by the name Rob Zombie. Like, what are we talking about here? I'm sure that's not his last name, but he goes by that. The reason why. You know, he's someone who's most likely an occultist. You know, Rob Zombie, Rob Death. Like, that's what zombie is an allusion to. Pretty much allusion to a dead man walking. And that's Michael Myers, pretty much. But at the same time, it's like he has this element about him where he's indestructible. So what is he really? Is he dead? Is he alive? Is he a spirit? You know, is he a vessel? And that's the thing. That's the aura about Michael Myers, or the shape,